Okay, so Miss Olson, Mr. Graff, and I were talking, and we decided that we're going to change Learning Target 5 a little bit. We decided it's not as important to us that you know how to construct these dot plots, histograms, and box plots, but that you know how to interpret them. So go ahead and change that on your notes, that instead of constructing dot plots, histograms, and box plots, we're going to have you interpret, which means you're going to have to read them and you're going to have to gather information and answer questions about them. Okay, so we probably during class will still have you make dot plots, histograms, and box plots just so that you have the practice of that, so that just in case you ever need to do it, you've done it before, and also just to get you a little bit better understanding of how each one works. But on the test, what we're actually going to be expecting of you is that we need you to be able to interpret them. So if you're given one of those plots, you can interpret it. So we've got a data set here. 56, 60, 60, 68, 76, 76, 96. And a dot plot looks like it does here on your notes. Okay, it's basically dots on a number line. Okay, so each item of data is shown as a dot on the number line. So you can see very easily they should all be on there. You're going to put a dot. You're going to stack them up if they all go. If you have more than one, like we have two 76s, so we have two dots above 76, okay? And a couple things that we talked about in my class was that it's very important that you include a title or some labels so that we know what your graph is about, and that every single interval is the same length. So here we've got every interval going up by 4s, okay? So a histogram comes kind of from a dot plot, so I want to show you that progression. So a dot plot, this information here on our next graph is about peanut butter quality ratings. Okay, so quality ratings, the way that they work is that you got a peanut butter and it's going to be anywhere from 0 to 100, and basically we've got a dot plot here. We've got a dot for every single quality rating. Okay, and then histograms actually take that information and they clump it together. Okay, so they clump the dots together into intervals of 10. And then what they do is they count how many are in each one, and this right here is actually a histogram. Okay, so a histogram looks like a bar graph. It's different. I'm going to tell you how in a little bit here. But what it is it's going to tell you how many ratings are in each interval. Okay, so there were, for example, if you look at between 30 and 40, there were 6 ratings in that interval between 30 and 40, so you can see that there's a bar that shows you that the count or frequency of the rate of ratings in that interval is 6. Okay, you can read the bar graph that way, or the histogram that way. It's not a bar graph. Okay, so on your notes, we've got the quality potato chips. We've got a whole bunch of quality ratings for potato chips, and what's happened was and a histogram data is shown by a bar marking the count or frequency in each interval. Okay, so we had 1 that was between 0 and 5, we have 2 that are between 20 and 25, we have 6 between 35 and 40, and so on and so forth. Okay. The difference between a bar graph and a histogram is that a bar graph is only used when you have categories. Okay, so in this case the categories are birth month. So underneath each bar you've got a category, in this case month, and then it shows you the number. Okay, histograms is actual number data, and it's going to be numbers along the x-axis as well as the y-axis, and they're going to tell you how many are in each interval. A bar graph shows you how many are in each category. So months, animals, flavors, I don't know, whatever those categories are, that's what a bar graph is for. And then the last plot, which I know from my students' pre-tests, the last one is the one that you're the most unfamiliar with, is called a box plot, or sometimes you might hear it called a box and whisker plot. Okay, so it's a visual way to show a 5-number summary. Okay, so I want you to put this little chart here in your notes. This is how you do it. You find the 5-number summary, You mark the median, the Q1 and Q3 with line segments. You mark the maximum and minimum with a point. You draw a box around the Q1 and Q3. The box is going to show the IQR. And then you draw whiskers to connect the box with the maximum and the minimum. Okay, so you would take on your line and you would mark, let's say, your median, your Q3, your Q1, and you would connect them with a box. Then you would mark your minimum and your maximum, and you would show a whisker going from the minimum up to that Q1. Okay, so that's what a box plot shows. It shows the 5-number summary in kind of a visual way. And once again, we do need that label and we need that interval marked consistently. Okay. So all you have to do before class is I want you to interpret a box plot. We're going to do a lot more practice with this before you get to your test, but we want you to, before class, have a little bit of practice with those box plots. So I want you to just answer these questions about the grades on Mrs. Werner's algebra class between Class A and Class B. Bring that to class with you, and make sure that you ask any questions that you have on the questions form before you come to class.